Wokeism is an orgy of extreme and generally self-destructive yet ill-defined mass hysteria. The Kiwi does not side right, left or centre. The Kiwi sees your shit coming and plants food where it lands. We don't care about your pronouns, shim, sure or shitbag. We have no interests if you like it in the ass or in the air. The one thing we cannot stand is fools. So enjoy your time on stage, but get off before something worse comes along, like me.
How dare you!
That's unnecessary.
My answer to what is woke, an amorphously defined socio-political ideology rooted in a leftist mixture of political correctness, misguided Marxism, radical race, personal identity, and gender politics in a self-conflicting assault on conventional society.
I fucking hate you!
It masks its ephemeral and ill-defined manifesto by prioritising an individual's rights to self-determine their identity based on an ever-expanding concept of inclusion. Simultaneously, this radical, illogical ideology foments social destruction, dissolution of the family unit, extreme gender identity politics, with the evident aim of reducing Western civilization to an eternally conflicted witch hunt.
Look what you've done!
Nihilistic society based on a cult of bizarre, destructive, and ultimately in every way divided. Thus, the concept of inclusion ultimately becomes one of exclusion. Ergo, if you do not include me in my own preconceptions of inclusion, you will become an oppressor and therefore excluded or preyed upon either socially, financially, or literally by mob justice. An agenda to promote LGBTQIAXYZ HYT. Individuals having special inviolable rights. Sexual identity politics within wokeism have become so pervasive that in Western society, children are now being indoctrinated in their early formative years. They are being groomed and generally manipulated, not only by teachers and role models they should be able to trust, they are also being directly exposed to the queer agenda.
And then you just move your bum up and down like that, and that's twerking.
I don't want to see that shit. God knows how parents must feel about it. But the footage I've seen, they're standing there with their bloody mouths open while they let their kids take it all in. If this was not perverse enough, many jurisdictions have allowed these agenda-programmed young minds the power to opt for gender transitional treatment.
My name is Chloe Cole, and I am a detransitioner. Another way to put that would be, I used to believe that I was born in the wrong body, and the adults in my life whom I trusted affirmed my belief, and this caused me lifelong, irreversible harm.
Only 2 decades ago, at least 2 years of counselling and professional psychological oversight was required even for adults to qualify. Now hormone therapy is being handed out to children by general practitioners without parental consent, the majority of whom later fall victim to severe psychological trauma and even suicide. When you look down at your Johnson in 20 years and see a wiener that went through a slice and dicer as your pee sprays everywhere but into the dunny, remember these words of advice.
Respect the cock.
Having a cock is great. You're lucky to get born with one. Be proud of what you can become by accepting yourself. Wake up! Race identity has become so comprehensively confused, misdirected, and obfuscated by the loosely defined woke movement that we now face the Orwellian equation of 2 + 2 = 5.
Racism. I think your son's tumor was caused by racism.
African Americans are accused of being extreme racist Nazis simply for stating fact-proven statistics regarding alleged race killings.
You would think that police officers were just gunning down people based on the amount of melanin in their skin. The media was able to make people believe that this was something that was real, when in reality, you have a higher chance of getting struck by lightning than by being gunned down unarmed by a police officer.
Racism, or the woke definition of it at least, has become so absurd that it borders on surreal. Black is black, white is oppression. A typical inversion of logic pervasive to this obscene and perverted ideology.
You gonna deliberately teach kids this white kid right here got it better than you because he white? You gonna purposely tell a white kid, oh, the black people are all down and suppressed? How do I have 2 medical degrees if I'm sitting here oppressed?
These woke idiots are middle-class white people. Go figure. The myth of male toxicity. All men, especially white, are rapists by dint of having a penis. As born members of the patriarchy, which is a secret society all us white males belong to, that is guilty for everything wrong in the world, when in fact their only crime was planting your useless ass seed in your mama's cooch and letting it take root. A generally confused, extreme left doctrine that considers US, and by extension the wider Western culture, to be a product of slavery, genocide and colonialism.
We're gonna build a new settlement. We'll have equal rights for all, except blacks, Asians, Hispanics, Jews, gays, women, Muslims, everybody who's not a white man.
Subsequently, the woke ideology is anti-white, anti-bourgeois, and believes that Europeans have systematically oppressed all other cultures on earth forever and therefore must hang our heads in perpetual shame. What's the problem with wokeism? They're commie Marxist idiots who do everything they can to weaken an already crumbling civilization while at the same time offering no viable alternatives to society. One could easily argue they are the problem, if not a large fucking part of it. God damn it! They're destroying the concept of the family unit, the cornerstone of civilization. Therefore, they knowingly and willingly intend to destroy the stability of the entire human race. They violently and arbitrarily impose their form of censorship upon those who disagree with them, thus becoming, just like the Bolshevik commie scum that blighted the 20th century, antithetical to their own already shredded credibility. Wokeism proactively supports and fosters racial, gender and class division, thus being the ideological force that has driven countless riots, resultant deaths, violence and looting, all the while claiming moral high ground and victimhood. Virtue signaling corporations have lost billions of dollars trying to either satisfy or create woke markets.
The House of Mouse putting out a financial statement. We face risk relating to misalignment with public and consumer tastes and preferences for entertainment, travel, and consumer products.
So you might think, oh well, fuck the rich bastards, they lost a few billion, tough for them. These fuckers are shitting on everybody. The first was Anheuser-Busch with their Bud Light advertising campaign. The image of a transsexual man selling an iconic American brand of beer was too much for the public and Bud Light sales plummeted. The second high-profile casualty was retail giant Target, who in some bizarre virtue signalling effort created a Pride Kids range of products that featured swimsuits for kids that were designed for boys to be able to conceal their genitals so they could look like girls. Where the fuck does this shit come from? Who runs these companies? Who listens to these assholes?
Third quarter projections indicate our sales will be down 40%.
Many of the former corporate giants sponsoring Pride Month have pulled out completely this year.
Is the pull-out method a safe way to have sex?
Out of fear for damage to their brands.
Up the bum, no babies.
Up the bum, no babies. Up the bum, no babies.
The woke movement has been an insane, failed experiment in self-indulgence and navel-gazing. It has cost society on every front, and the level of social harm is staggering.
When I grow up, I want to work for a woke company. Like super woke.
When I grow up, I want to be hired based on what I look like rather than my skills.
I want to be judged by my political beliefs.
I want to get promoted
based on my chromosomes. I want to be obsessed with emotional safety
and do workplace sensitivity training.
I want to be offended and have my words policed.
When I grow up, I want to climb the corporate ladder.
Just by following the crowd.
I want to be a conformist. I want to weaponize my pronouns. What are pronouns?
What you do to yourselves and identify as isn't a priority to other people, nor should it be. The world does not revolve around you, and this idiocy has already gone too far. So in conclusion, a shitbird needs 2 wings to fly around and shit on all that is good. You daft, woke cunts picked one, which just makes you half a shitbird and as silly as those southerners in sheets. Haven't been drinking either today, John. Hit the shit, shite, share and subscribe buttons only if you want to. Yeah? Right. I'm out here. Whiskey doesn't buy itself.